Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, to the channel IT Simplified. In today's video on NetBackup and Azure, we'll see how to use archival storage with NetBackup 9.0. So I just installed latest version of NetBackup, which was released a couple of days ago. So if I can show you under host properties, I can go to master server, and you can see that this is running 9.0, which was released a couple of days ago only by Veritas. Now I can definitely go and add cloud storage right from this console. So I can go configure cloud storage server and just follow the steps over here. But I'm going to show you the web UI of NetBackup to add cloud storage. So for that, let's go and open that interface. It's HTTPS and with the name of your master media server. In my case, the name of my master media server is NetBackup and web UI. That's the URL. So in case your master server name is something else, you need to provide it over here. Then you need to provide the credential to log in. And I am inside my web UI of NetBackup 9.0. So on the left plate, you can see that you have a couple of options to configure. But for this demonstration, the one that I want to configure is storage. So let me go and expand it. And let's go and click on add. From here, I can add advanced cloud storage, MSDP pool, open storage. So all these options are here. Let's pick cloud storage and go and click on next. Now you need to provide the storage server name. I'm going to name it Azure Offline Server. And for the cloud service provider, we have lots of options. In this case, I'm talking about Microsoft. So let's go and search for it. And depending upon which Azure you're dealing with, whether it's Gov or regular, you will pick one over the other. So let me go and select the regular one. And then you need to pick storage tier. Now you have two options over here. You can have account access tier or archive. Now the difference between the two is if you're using hot or cool tier, then we'll use the top one. If it is the archival tier, I'll use the archive tier. But one thing to point out, if you're using archive tier, still you need to make sure that your storage account type is set to hot tier. Now that is going to be very important. And actually, let me show you. Let me pick archive tier, and you get a notification over here and explain you why that's the case. If so, I'm going to go to my Azure portal, and for this demonstration, the account that I'm going to use is with the name SA Girish. Now, when you create a storage account on the Azure side, you cannot set the access tier as archival at the storage account level. It is only at the blob level. So important that in case you're going to use archival storage for long time retention, you got to make sure that your access tier for the storage account is set to hot. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So in my case, as you can see that it is already in place, so I should be good. So let's pick archive tier. And again, depending upon which Azure you are dealing with, you will choose one or the other, like if you're using China or something else. But in this case, it's regular Azure, so it is going to be blob.co.windows.net. And I'm going to pick it. I also have to make a selection for the media server. Now, in my case, I only have one, so let's pick that. Let me expand it and go to next. Now, it is asking for the storage account and the access key. And both these information, you'll get it from the Azure portal. So if I can go on the storage account side, under settings, you see I have the access key. This is the storage account name, and this is the key that you need to provide. So I'm going to copy it. And also the key. And both these things in place, I can do further configuration on the advanced side, but I'm just taking all these default to keep the thing simple, right? But you can always tweak it. If you have proxy server, you can also specify over here. Let's go to next. Now at this stage also I can specify what object size going to be. Now basically what is happening under the hood is that when you're moving the data, say for example from on-prem to the cloud storage, NetBackup media server is going to break that into parallel chunks, or also called objects. And again, depending upon the environment, you can tweak this number. Again, I'm going to use all these default, but just remember that you can always tweak this. But this, as you can see, that this attributes cannot be modified once the storage server is created. So you've got to be mindful of this. I'm just going to enable the compression so that I save on the storage side in Azure. So with that checked, go to next. And I don't have any other media server, but if you have any other media server, you can also add that. Let's go to next here. And you get a brief summary of the selections that you have made. And let's go and click on finish. And you can see that the storage server was added successfully. And I have the information here. The category is cloud. There's only one media server and all these options, right? So with that in place, we have successfully added our storage server here. Now, if I can go and expand this, you see I get more information here. So what we're going to do further is, as you can see, that our storage server was added successfully. Now I can also add the disk pool right from here. So let's go and expand this. And I need to provide the disk pool name. And let's say this is disk pool 1. I'm going to say cloud storage. You can also limit the IO stream, but I'm not going to do anything right now. Let's go and click on next. And this, you can see that C111 is the container that I have within my storage account. So if I can show you that too. So let me go to storage account, and under blob services container, you can see that it automatically populates the container on the NetBackup side. So this is the container that I have created, and within this container all the blobs will be stored. So C111, that is what it is getting from, because I have already created the container on the Azure side. So with that in place, that's fine too. Let me go and click on next. And storage server name, Azure Offline Server, the one that we created. The volume is C111. That is a container I'm getting from the Azure site under the storage account. And let's go and click on finish. So the disk pool was also created, and now the final step is to add the storage unit. So let's go and pick that. And I need to provide the name. You can specify the maximum concurrent job. I'm going to leave all these things to default. Click on next. Keep on going. Actually, I have to select the disk pool. So let's pick that. The disk pool selected. Now it is the media server. So allow NetBackup to automatically select. Now in case you have multiple, you can have multiple media servers sending data to the cloud storage. Now in my case, I can pick automatically or I can do manually. So I'm just going to pick manually here, but it won't matter. In my case, I only have one media server. Select that, and my disk pool is here, and my media server is here. So all the information looks good to me. Let's go and click on the save button. And storage unit was also added successfully. So with this, we have successfully added our archival storage with NetBackup version 9.0. Hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.